Hey guys, Bob here from Raw Strength and Muscle, and today I am going to talk about how I weighed in and my waist measurement and everything 7 days ago, okay? Today is the 10th of January 2022, but I am going to tell you about my weigh-in 1 week ago on the 3rd, and then I'm going to do another video in a couple minutes to explain how I weighed in today. The reason for the delay is, if you don't know yet, I actually contracted that T virus that is causing the current zombie apocalypse. I'm trying not to use the C word in this video because I don't know how YouTube's going to act, and I want this to be more about my progress on this transformation than about my actual illness. But I will discuss what it's like to have the T virus in another video, okay? But right now, basically, this is what happened 2 weeks into my explosive muscle transformation, okay? And this is also like the day before I actually tested positive for the T virus, okay? So I was 2 weeks in. I started out weighing 209.2 pounds with a 37-inch waist, okay? That's where I started from the beginning. On the 3rd of January, which was exactly 14 days in, I weighed 199.1 and I had a 34.5-inch waist. So that means on the explosive muscle program with the anaerobics diet, which is my carb timing or, strategically timed carb diet, I had lost in 2 weeks 10.1 pounds, 2.5 inches from my waist, okay? Now, interesting stuff here, because there is like kind of an interesting discrepancy between my 1 and 2 week weigh-ins, okay? So I was 209.2 pounds when I started. After 7 days, I was 199.5, okay? So that's like, so that's basically like, most of the weight that I lost was in the first week, okay? And I weighed, after 2 weeks, 199.1. So that means that over the second week, I only lost 0.4 pounds on the scale, okay? So negligible progress, if any, in losing weight. But stay tuned, because after the first week, I went from a 37 to a 35.25-inch waist, okay? And then the second week, I went from a 35.25 to a 34.5-inch waist. Okay, so going from 35.25 inches to 34.5, that is, a decent amount of weight loss. I mean, that is like what, basically 3/4 of an inch, and I lost 0.4 pounds. Normally, okay, for most people who are, extremely obese or extremely shredded, like 5 pounds from the scale in body fat means 1 inch lost around your waist, okay? So what I'm basically trying to say here is I should have, since I lost 3/4 of an inch from my waist, I should have lost like, 3.5, 4 pounds maybe, but I lost 0.4. Very interesting the way the body works, okay? I don't know what happened. Maybe, I'm not saying I built muscle, but maybe my body, I lost fat, but I also stored like some water, or my muscles filled up a little bit outside of my waist. So that's why I actually lost fat, and I lost, size around my waist. Because if you're losing size around your waist, you're losing fat, period. Okay, that's just the way it is. But I didn't really lose weight, so that means the weight went somewhere else. It's not water bloat, so don't say, oh, it's water bloat, because if it was water bloat, it doesn't make any sense, because I would have lost it from around my waist too. Okay, if I lose 5 pounds of water, I'll lose an inch around my waist, just like if I lose 5 pounds of fat. So it's not water bloat. Like I said, basically, it came to a little bit of recomp. And if you guys remember the last couple times I've done these transformations, a lot of times I'll go in and recompose for a couple weeks. Like, I'm getting stronger in the gym. I'm not losing weight per se, but I am losing size around my waist, okay? So like I said, this is one of the reasons why it's so important that you measure your waist and your weight. Because if I had measured my weight, I would have thought, obviously I looked better in the mirror, but I would have thought, hey, the statistics say I am not losing weight. Whereas over here, because I'm measuring my waist and my body weight, I have, a much better view of exactly what's going on inside my body. And like I said, I'm getting, strong or stronger in the gym. So I'm certainly not losing muscle. So like I said, a little bit of recomposition in the second week. But in general, like I said, in 2 weeks, I went from 209.2 to 199.1, 10.1 pounds, most of which happened in the first week, and 37 to a 34.5-inch waist. Okay, 2.5 inches in 2 weeks. And, like I said, most of both happened in the first week, but the second week I did lose 3/4 of an inch from my waist. Let's go ahead and take a look at the actual, morning weigh-in itself. And, like I said, keep subscribe if you haven't, because I'm going to keep you guys updated on my progress, including the little hiccup when I got the T virus, which, somehow affected my third week weight loss. See that in the next video. But right now, let's look at the weigh-in.